Hi, a very good morning. I am Lakshmi Narayana Gunta, PGT in Zoology at APMS at Junior College, Karavanja, and also working as NEET Super 60 faculty, Supplevalsa Srikakulam. Today we are going to discuss the human respiratory system, part 1. Respiration is a process leading to or involving the chemical breakdown of the food substances to provide us energy, and this respiration, if it takes place in the presence of air, it is called as aerobic respiration, and if it is taken place the absence of air, it is called as anaerobic respiration. And we have studied different types of respiratory organs in different animals. Today we are going to discuss the human respiratory system. Human respiratory system consists of a pair of external nostrils. These are external nostrils. The nasal chamber, nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi and bronchioles, and also the lungs. Let us discuss all these things one by one. Okay, the external nostrils. A pair of external nostrils are nails open above the upper lip. Here you can observe a pair of external nostrils. These are also called as nares. These are present above the upper lip. Coming to the next part of the respiratory system, that is the nasal chambers. We have two nasal chambers, the right nasal chamber, the left nasal chamber. These two chambers, they are separated by a septum, and this nasal chamber, it has three regions: the vestibular part, the respiratory part, and the olfactory part. Okay, this one is the vestibular part, which consists of hair and mucus, and this one is the respiratory part. The one with olfactory epithelium is called as olfactory part. Okay, this is the vestibular part, and the hair present in the vestibular part and the secretions of these sebaceous glands together, they prevent the entry of dust particles into the lower respiratory tract. This part is called as the respiratory part. It consists of three tiny twisted plate-like structures called as conchae, nasal conchae or turbinals. These turbinals, they are helpful in conditioning the temperature of the inhaled air. So we breathe in hot air or a cool breeze, it will be conditioned by these three turbinals. Okay, and the olfactory epithelium present in the olfactory part, it is essential for identifying the smell, different types of smell, a fragrance of a rose or a jasmine, whatever it may be. Okay, these are all identified by the specialized cells present in the olfactory epithelium that lines the olfactory part. And coming to the third part of the respiratory system, that is the nasopharynx. The nasal chamber, it opens into nasopharynx through internal nostrils or internal nares, which are a pair in number. This one here you can observe a pair of internal nares or internal nostrils, which allow the air to pass from the nasal chamber to the nasopharynx. As we already have learned, there are three parts in pharynx, that is the upper nasopharynx and the middle oropharynx and the lower laryngopharynx. This pharynx is a common passage both for the food and the air. In this way, the nasal chamber opens into the nasopharynx through a pair of internal nostrils or internal nares. Okay, coming to the next part of the respiratory system, that is the larynx. The larynx, which is also called as the voice box, it is useful in the production of sound. That's why it is called as voice box. And this is made up of 9 cartilages, out of which 3 are paired cartilages and the remaining 3 are unpaired cartilages. Here you can observe the 9 cartilages. The first one is corniculate cartilage, which are present in 2 in number, are arytenoid cartilages, cuneiform cartilages, and the thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage, and the arytenoid cartilage. Here in this picture you can clearly observe this one is the epiglottis, the unpaired cartilage. These two, they are corniculate cartilage, and the below these corniculate cartilages here and there, they are arytenoid cartilages and the cuneiform cartilages, and the unpaired thyroid cartilage, which is the largest cartilage of the larynx, and it is an unpaired cartilage. This one is the thyroid cartilage, and below this thyroid there is a cartilage called as cricoid cartilage, which is also an unpaired cartilage. This one is the cricoid cartilage, and the epiglottis, which is present above the glottis. The opening of the trachea of the windpipe is called as glottis, and this opening is guarded by a flap-like structure called as epiglottis. It is also a cartilage of the larynx. In this way, there are 9 cartilages in our larynx. 2 are corniculate cartilages, 2 are arytenoid cartilages, 2 are cuneiform cartilages, and thyroid, cricoid, epiglottis 1 each. A total of 9 cartilages are there in our larynx. Okay. This epiglottis attached to the thyroid cartilage, it prevents the entry of the food into the glottis. Okay. This one is the epiglottis, and this epiglottis, it prevents the food particles from entering into the windpipe. Okay. And when that's the reason we can't talk while eating and we can't eat while talking. Okay. Because the pharynx is a common passage, and extending between thyroid cartilage and the arytenoids, there is a pair of vocal cords which are called as true vocal cords. These true vocal cords, they are responsible for the sounds. Okay, these are vocal cords, and the space present between the true vocal cords and the arytenoids is called as rima glottidis. And the laryngeal prominence of thyroid cartilage is called as Adam's apple. This Adam's apple we can observe in some persons very clearly, and in some persons it may not be very clear. And here you can observe the Adam's apple. This one is the Adam's apple. Okay, coming to the next part of the respiratory system, that is the trachea. The nasopharynx opens into trachea through an opening called as the glottis. The opening of the trachea is called as glottis, and through this glottis the pharynx, the nasopharynx opens into the trachea. Okay, which is also called as a windpipe. And this trachea, it extends up to the middle of the thoracic cavity. Whenever you touch this trachea, you observe ring-like structures. These C-shaped cartilaginous ring-like structures, they are made up of hyaline cartilage. They are 16 to 20 in number, and these C-shaped rings, they are open dorsally and closed ventrally. This is the this one is closed ventrally and this one is open dorsally. Okay. The wall of this trachea is lined by a specialized epithelium called as pseudostratified ciliated epithelium. We have studied about this pseudostratified ciliated epithelium. Here it is looking like multi-layered, that is stratified epithelium. Even though it is looking like stratified epithelium, but actually if you observe clearly, it is single layered. The location of the nucleus, it makes us think that it is multi-layered, but it is actually single layered. That's why it is called as pseudostratified ciliated epithelium. Okay, na? This type of epithelium is observed in the walls of the trachea. And coming to the last part of the respiratory system, that is the bronchi and bronchioles. This trachea, it divides into primary bronchi at the 5th thoracic vertebra. The thoracic vertebra, I have already told you that there are 12 thoracic vertebrae to which the ribs are attached. Okay, this one is a primary bronchus and this one is another primary bronchus, and each primary bronchus, it is further divided into lobar bronchi or secondary bronchi. There are 3 lobes in our right lung, and whereas only 2 lobes in a left lung. And when compared with the left lung, this right lung is bigger. Why? Can you guess the reason behind it? Why the right lung is comparatively bigger than the left one? Because the heart is located and it is pointed towards the left side. That is the reason the left lung is somewhat smaller than the right one, and it has only, the left lung has only 2 lobes, whereas the right lung has 3 lobes. Okay, let us observe how these bronchi they are divided, and the primary bronchi they are divided into secondary bronchi. These secondary bronchi they are further divided into tertiary bronchi. These tertiary bronchi further they are divided into primary bronchioles. Primary bronchioles further divided into secondary bronchioles. Secondary bronchioles divided into tertiary bronchioles, and tertiary bronchioles finally they are divided into terminal bronchioles, and these terminal bronchioles they terminate with respiratory bronchioles. Okay, these respiratory bronchioles they terminate with the alveolar ducts. Okay, and these alveolar ducts they bear alveolar sacs or alveoli. Okay, in general a human bears 750 millions of these alveolar sacs, and these alveolar sacs they are surrounded by a net of alveolar capillaries. These capillaries you can clearly observe here, and they are like a net around these alveoli. Okay, and these are the sites, exact sites where the exchange of gases takes place between the capillaries and the alveoli. And coming to the last part of the human respiratory system, that is the lungs. There is a pair of lungs. They occupy majority of the thoracic cavity, and these bronchi, bronchioles and trachea, all these together they look like a pulmonary tree. And these lungs they are protected dorsally by a vertebral column, ventrally by a sternum, and laterally by ribs, and towards the downward it is protected by a diaphragm. All these they form an airtight chamber which accommodate the lungs. Okay, this one is the sternum, these are the ribs, and this one is the diaphragm, and on the back vertebral column. A double layered pleura covers the lungs, and these pleura they are separated with a pleural cavity or pleural space which is filled with a pleural fluid. Here it is filled with pleural fluid. This pleural fluid it reduces the friction on the lung surface. Okay, majorly there are 2 parts in human respiratory system, that is the conducting part and the respiratory part. The external nostrils, nasal chamber, nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, and primary bronchioles, secondary bronchioles, tertiary bronchioles, and terminal bronchioles. These all come under conducting part where the air is conducted. Coming to the second part, that is the respiratory part, it is also called as the exchange part. It includes alveoli and the ducts where the exchange of gases takes place. Okay, and this finishes our human respiratory system. Let us finish this session with a few questions. I have given 3 statements. Read these 3 statements. 3 twisted bony plates are called as concave, and the second statement is 9 cartilages support the wall of larynx. Cartilaginous rings keep the trachea always open. Okay, you have to identify the correct statements among these 3 statements. Okay, the option 1 is all the statements are correct. Option B is only 1 and 2 are correct. Option C is only 2 and 3 are correct. Option 4 is only 1 and 3 are correct. What is your option? Very good. All the statements are correct. Coming to the second question, the part of nasal chamber with hair and sebaceous glands is. Okay, option 1 is respiratory part. Option B is olfactory part. Option C is exchange part, and option D is vestibular part. What is your option? Right, vestibular part is the right option where hair and sebaceous glands are present, which prevent the flow of dust particles into the lower respiratory tract. Coming to the third question, Unpaired cartilage of the following is: option A is corniculate cartilage, option B is arytenoid cartilage, option C cuneiform cartilage, option D thyroid cartilage. What is your option? Right, thyroid cartilage is the right option. Remaining three are paired cartilages. Okay, thank you for watching, and follow me on YouTube simply by typing Lakshminarayan Gunta, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.